Yesterday, the goats got out and they beelined for the garden and they trashed my garden. If you're wondering what your garden will look like after a herd of goats and some sheep run through it, let me show you. Hi everyone, welcome to Connerty Meadows Farm. My name's Ricky. Come along and I'm going to show you garden damage today. Something's not right with the strawberry patch. Thankfully, all of these strawberries are putting out tendrils. I will be able to put the tendrils back in and hopefully plump this back up. This was the easiest hit part of the garden. They ate chunks out of my beautiful tomatoes. Thankfully, they left most of the wall of tomatoes alone. My lovely celery. Apparently, this was a favorite. Look at, and then they ate most of the tops on my celery. Just destroyed it. My corn, thankfully I had harvested the day before. There was only a few bits left. All toppled over. My beans smushed to the ground. My climbing beans stripped. And I had a whole bunch of seed pods saved, eaten. They had trampled all down my squash. It's okay, it was the end of the season for the squash. Beans yanked out from the bottom, gone through the middle and destroyed. Ate the beans. No beans left. Raspberries, because I had them tucked up, they only really ate the stuff on the outside. Stripped the leaves. This one ate all the leaves off of it. The peppers, they left this batch alone because they decided that some habaneros were fun to eat. I'm sure that was tasty. Down in here, they yanked the tops off of a number of the carrots. But they came through here and absolutely destroyed my haskap. It's just sticks. And they can see they ate a whole pile of the raspberries here as well. And here they ate the raspberries. Destroyed the comfrey patch. Absolutely destroyed it. Ate the tops out of all the carrots here. Yanked out a bunch. Thankfully, they had jumped around on here, but thankfully they left most of my tomatoes alone. Ate a whole bunch of strawberries in here, which were coming out anyway, so not so bad. Yanked a bunch of carrots off of both sides. Ate rhubarb, which is a little bit concerning. Ate all the rhubarb there. Ate most of the rhubarb here. The kale, the cucumbers, which were failing. I am worried about the fact that they ate the radish because it is poisonous. And they came down through here. They got out around the fence and they came in through the woods. And I have to say, I am thankful that while they came through here, they were so focused on the food here that they left all of my apple trees alone. Thankfully, everything that they ate was just stuff that we planted this year, not something other than the hascaps that are going to have a long-term effect. They ate the tomatoes, they ate the peppers, all through here. You can see that they've eaten the tops off all my peppers, so I'm at the end, I guess, of peppers. I had a little, they ate this tomato. I had a little bit of a laugh over here. This is a habanero, and yesterday there was a half-eaten habanero, green one, and a red one on the ground. Apparently, someone is going to have a really hot mouth. They ate all of the new coming leaves, all the buds, so whatever is left on this plant, that's all we're going to get. Oh, they left one tiny little section with buds here, but for the most part, this plant will be done. Whatever's on there is on there. But I imagine that somebody had a really bit of a warm mouth after eating that. Same with here. There was hot cherry bomb, and they had chunked there. These ones are Sugar Rush Peach. Same thing. They obviously had some chomps and found maybe that they weren't as delicious as they thought. That's a cherry bomb. And they chomped away on it. So I think someone's probably running around with a bit of a hot mouth right now. So that's the damage here. They ate the tops off a lot of the cosmos. I mean, it could be worse. I'm really thankful that they were so focused on everything over here that the apple trees got left, the cherry trees got left, all the long-term stuff got left. Just means that we're not going to have as much food from the garden. And again, thankfully, a lot of the food that they did eat, I had already harvested a good chunk of it. So it's not completely devastating. But this is what happens when goats get out. They are so destructive. More carrot tops that they ate over here. More peppers they ate over here. More comfrey they ate over here. They did do a number on my hascaps here. All of these hascaps have been chewed. Thankfully, they did leave some green on each of these ones, unlike the one by the garden. These ones should all recover. Unfortunately, over here, the ones over here, not so grand. This one has enough green. I think if we water it well, it will put out some shoots. It should recover enough before winter comes. This one's gonna be iffy as well. What really sucks is that this is the pollinator that we need for the rest of the plants. And it's the same with the one over by the garden. The one over by the garden that they ate down to smitherbits was also my male, and they left the female alone. So we will have to see if I can get them to come back with this heat. Trimming them back like that and then having this heat is gonna be a bit of a test. I got to heavily water tonight. I heavily watered last night. We'll see if we can fertilize and maybe get some growth going. I do have some comfrey mix that I'm gonna throw on them and see if that's gonna give them enough of a boost. My parents had picked some scions from the grape trees from my grandmother's house, and my sister planted them, and they were all in this bucket, and they ate those. There is still some green there, so it should still recover. And here are the little brats in question. So I actually have locked them in the winter pasture today. They don't have access to the full field until I can figure out what to do with the fencing system. I can't deal with them today because I have so much canning from the garden to do. So I'm gonna focus on canning today. They have hay that we freshly cut this past summer that they can eat. They are getting some garden cast-offs like the outside of the corn from shucking. I will pull some things up in the garden and toss it over the fence at them. But these little brats are contained for the day. Everybody knows I love my goats, I love my sheep, but sometimes they are just a royal pain in the butt. Now, some of this is mostly my fault. I didn't extend the fence long enough. I did not have it fully charged. The kids have been doing a lot of the barn chores just because I've been inside putting the harvest up for the winter. So kind of my fault too. But until I can deal with it properly, they're stuck in this pasture. All right, guys, so this is what happens when goats get in your garden. Thankfully, we do come outside quite often, even when I'm in the middle of harvest prep, and we were able to catch them in the act and they didn't decimate the whole garden. But it definitely could have been a lot worse. I'm thankful that there's still a lot of food in there for us to preserve. Could have been a lot better if they stayed where they were too. I mean, they have a 5-acre hay field. I don't know why they thought my garden was where they needed to be. Either way, they are contained for today. Thanks for hanging out with us on the farm. We'll see you next time.